Hey guys, Drifter here. In case you didn't already know, Call of Duty Mobile has a fully featured Battle Royale mode that is almost on par with Black Ops 4's Blackout, which is what you're seeing right here. This is my gameplay because I got into the beta, and I was actually shocked at how well it played and how good of a mode it was. Also kind of shocked at how well it works on mobile. You'll see my gameplay of it today, but as a heads up, it's going to be very, very laggy. I am playing on a VPN in Bangalore, India, which is the only place it's available, so my ping is miserable. It's running through a VPN, and since there's 100 players on the server, that just adds more difficulty. So the lag in this will be much more noticeable than the lag that you may have seen in my previous multiplayer videos. Before the game even starts, you get to choose a class. Each class has unique special abilities ranging from medic to defensive to offensive to one that screws around with zombies, but personally I like the grapple hook. It's called the ninja class. There's nothing like being able to reposition anywhere you want to go on the map, and if you break off at the wrong time, it's just fine. You very rarely fall to your death, you'll just wingsuit, so I kind of use it like the grapple hook from Apex Legends. If you find an upgrade beacon on the map, which I didn't even know was a thing, you can upgrade your special abilities to make them even more effective. Now, these are rare and often contested, but there's 4 of them, so your whole squad can upgrade. And there's respawn points littered across the map too, just like Apex Legends, but you have to get your teammates' dog tags, like kill confirmed, in order to drop them in and bring them back to life. A match starts out a lot like a match of Blackout. You fly in on Black Ops 2 choppers and drop onto a map that looks a lot like the Blackout map, just thematically speaking. There are actually 100 players in the match, as you'll see in the top left-hand corner. However, a lot of these are bots for the first 5 matches or so. As your matches increase, you play increasingly less bots. PUBG Mobile does this too. The first game you play has like 10 real people maybe, so you don't really see people till the end. And the idea is to give you some time to kill some bots and get comfortable with the game before just kind of throwing you at the wolves. You get a redeployable wingsuit, just like Blackout has. You can fly really far with it. You can jump off buildings and do things with it. And it seems to be much more forgiving than the Blackout one because there's no button to activate it. There's no hold down anything when you jump. It just kind of automatically deploys as soon as you jump off, which is very, very nice. Like Apex Legends, you can choose to drop solo, or you can drop in formation with your squad. Seeing as how I'm playing with randoms that are almost always blasting music or something horribly loud or Indian through their microphones, I mute people and I just drop in formation and kind of stick with my team, and I'm a silent partner. And just like Blackout, as soon as you land, it's a mad rush to find a weapon. You don't want to be caught out without a weapon because you're going to die almost immediately. It's going to suck. You're going to say it's the worst game ever. But thankfully, there are plenty of weapons around. It's not very stingy on weapons. You'll get some in houses. I usually go for the houses, but there's also big green crates, usually outside of the houses, which are more exposed, which I tend not to go for at first so I don't get shot in the back. There's red crates, which tend to give you health or armor items. There's zombies mystery boxes and supply drops that fly over and drop on the map. As a pro tip, if you try to get a mystery box, please be prepared to fight a giant hellhound. The mystery boxes are fixed on the map, and you have to walk up to them and click them to activate them, and then you have to either defeat a boss or a wave of zombies, and the boss is a hellhound the size of a tank. You probably can't beat it by yourself. You'll need your team to help you hose that bad girl down, but once you do get the mystery box. Looting in this game is a lot like PUBG Mobile, like a lot like PUBG Mobile. It might be borrowed from PUBG Mobile since it's the same developer, and that most of it is automatic. When you first run over a weapon and you've got nothing, you're going to pick up any weapon. It's going to be loaded. Every attachment and ammo is good to go. No awkward animations or anything. And pretty much anytime you run over ammo that's useful or something that your character needs or just an attachment that your weapon doesn't have, it just snaps on. No problems. The rest of the stuff, if you want to carry extra ammo over a certain amount, or if you want to pick up smoke grenades or trade weapons or whatever, all of that's just click. You can just click it on the screen or hit X to make it go away. To manage your bag is just click and drag or tap and drag. I'm so used to PC, it's click and drag, but tap and drag. And there is a hot swap menu for your weapons, and there's a hot swap menu for your grenades and for your meds. They're just kind of like tap and tap. You tap and the menu pops up, you tap what you want, and then you're back in the game with all that you need very, very quickly. And I found it overall very easy to loot in this game, despite the lag, of which there was plenty. And the bag requirements aren't too bad either. It's not very stingy on how much ammo and stuff you can carry, so that's very nice. And so far, I have never had my bag completely loaded. I've never had to fool with that too much. Most of the weapons you're going to find are the same ones from Call of Duty multiplayer, or Call of Duty mobile multiplayer, I should say. And they're going to come from all games. Modern Warfare 1, 2, 3. I think there's maybe one from World at War, and then all the rest are Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 weapons. There's a few random Chinese ones, but it's all the same Call of Duty attachments and scopes. Even some of the scopes actually from Black Ops 4 Blackout. And all the guns you know. There's not going to be very many guns you pick up that are really strange or unfamiliar. Although you can get a big crazy like Russian like Strela looking rocket launcher, and some of the weirder zombie weapons I believe you're able to get out of the crates, but I have not yet been able to get my hands on them, so I could be wrong about that. And armor goes from level 1 to 3, just like Blackout, and you do not get level 3 armor unless it's from a special crate. Pretty much all you're going to have is level 1 to 2, and as far as health goes, you are overall quite tanky. Very similar to Blackout, takes a lot of shots to kill, perhaps even more so, kind of like how they designed multiplayer in this game to take some more shots to kill. It takes a few more shots to kill people in Blackout because I think that they wanted people to have gunfights instead of just picks, but sniper rifles will murder people if you hit them in the head if you do that. Gameplay is pretty similar to Call of Duty Mobile, but with bullet drop, which is why I wanted to talk about the snipers. Call of Duty Mobile regular multiplayer is just hit scans. It's normal hit scans. It's nothing special. But the Battle Royale mode is just like Blackout in that your bullets drop. And this was very surprising given how much the bullet projectiles have to be bogging down the server to keep track of all these shots. Like, multiplayer is just hit scans, but Blackout has drop, travel time, mil dot leading, all that other sort of stuff you have to screw with. And I'm impressed. So, like, bravo to Tencent for implementing a system that's so complicated I would never touch it. I just would have used hit scans. But snipers are more useful. Like, regular multiplayer is a lot of small maps. You don't really get an opportunity to snipe people except maybe Crossfire. And Blackout, they're significantly more useful if you can spot people. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, you can put people to bed in one shot sometimes. Oh, and the shotguns are actually ridiculous up close. And in this mode, they put you to bed very, very quickly and tuck you in so that you don't get back out. Shotguns are nasty, but I tend not to prefer them because, like most Call of Duty shotguns, they have very finite range. I'm more of a 1 AR, 1 SMG kind of player, probably like a 2x to 4x on my AR. There are special abilities, which I showed you earlier. As of so far me playing it, they've been used infrequently. I think a lot of players don't know that they're there, but that will probably change when the full game comes out. There's vehicles too, helicopters, ATVs, cars, trucks, all sorts of stuff you can drive around, and they drive and control just like PUBG mobile vehicles, so no big surprise there. But if you don't like how PUBG mobile vehicles handle, there's 3 alternative control schemes, and they're basically all Blackout vehicles. They're basically shamelessly borrowed from Blackout, and I will say that they don't hurt your game performance. It surprised me that flying a helicopter around the map as fast as I can didn't even drop the frame rate, and it didn't do too much to the draw distance. It made some of the building polys disappear, so I saw more like a flat map of them, but it really didn't tank the game like I was expecting it to. Let's talk about graphics though. Graphics are slightly worse in Battle Royale than they are in regular multiplayer, just like, you know, regular Call of Duty. The game tries to hold down a steady 60 FPS, but sometimes it will dip down to about 45 FPS if everything gets crazy. And maybe that's just my phone, maybe that's because I'm in beta, maybe it's because I'm running 3 other different softwares to capture the game, and a lot of stuff, but it's not as pretty as regular multiplayer. Some of that may also be psychological, because in Blackout I'm looking really, really far away and I'm trying to find tiny little dots at very long ranges. And even though I'm playing on a 1080p phone, they're just very physically small on mobile and hard to see, and there's some kind of, let's say, questionable anti-aliasing that doesn't help. So spotting's a little challenging. I don't think the audio is very well done. So PUBG Mobile has fantastic audio. I can just sound whore really, really easily, and you have the bullet markers on the map. This game, the audio is a little bit more wonky. You pretty much never hear footsteps, but you do hear the gunshots. It's difficult to locate them, but they have the same kind of bullet markers on them on your minimap, which help a lot to point you in the right direction, but they are by no means perfect. Probably the audio is the weakest part of this game. Ironic, because that's the weakest part of regular Blackout as well. And the map is super interesting because it's a Modern Warfare and Black Ops map. For a Call of Duty fan, this is like visually stunning. It's like Fangirl City. It is absolutely crazy to see Modern Warfare locations and Blackout locations side by side. You can literally walk from Blackout standoff with no borders, over to Pripyat in the Ukraine, and then take a car on over to like Nuketown or something crazy, or Raid or something like that. There's a lot of new locations that I've never seen before that I don't know anything about. There's a lot of old ones. And the theme is a little bit less colorful than multiplayer, and even the Treyarch maps have been drabbed down a little bit. I'm not sure why all these military battle royale games like the drab colors, but it's not too bright or punchy. But there is a lot of combat variety. There's mountains, there's hills, there's trees, there's water, there's Nuketown, there's a military base, there's zombie boxes, big and small, maps old and new, grapple hooks to get around to weird spots, corner campers, people sitting in buildings, noobs everywhere. It's exactly what you expect out of Call of Duty Battle Royale, and overall it's a great Battle Royale on your phone. This game obviously would not compete with console games, it would not compete with PC games, but I am very impressed at how it runs on mobile, and I'm hoping that with some improvements and some polish that it turns out to be a fantastic full release. And when it does fully release, I think you should check it out. I think a lot of you will be surprised. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something useful. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.